Even though everyone's study methods are different, I believe that by following some of my tips and experiences, it will help you all during your upcoming exams. I am Khun Sovansunchhay, an ESL graduate from BELTEI International School Campus 4, who got an overall IELTS band score of 8.0. Today, I have a great honor to stand here to share you all some of my tips and experiences of the IELTS exam, which I hope will help you all during your upcoming tests, and that this speech will become some kind of motivation to boost your confidence. So without further ado, let's get into the topic. There are 4 main reasons why I got this high score. Firstly, it's because of my individual skill. I value myself as a person who can manage time fairly well. Since I'm currently a university student and my IELTS test day was told only 1 week before, I needed to think carefully of how I manage my limited time. So, if you're like me and you only had 1 week to prepare for the test, then you don't need to panic. You have enough time. 1 week is enough to prepare for the IELTS exam. For me personally, I usually spend 2 to 3 hours of my day practicing the IELTS test, specifically on reading and listening. The first 2 to 3 days of the week, I focus on reading only, so that I can find improvements on all the reading sections. For instance, there is a section about true, false, and not given. I find that this was one of my weakest sections, so whenever I get to this part, I tend to analyze each question more slowly, and at the end of each test, I try to review each answer thoroughly so that I can have an idea of why it was done like so. I suggest you to spend more time and be mindful of each question and answer, because when you understand an answer to a certain question, you will surely know your way of improving. Moving on to day 4 and 5, I started to practice listening, but I didn't let go of practicing reading because listening only involved half of reading's time. So in one study session, I usually do 1 reading test and 1 listening test. For the listening test, I always try to stay focused. Since the IELTS listening answers are quite short, I noticed that whenever I lose focus, I will most likely lose an answer. But even so, if you miss an answer to a question, you don't need to panic. Just try to gather focus and be prepared for the upcoming answer. Losing 1 point is better than losing 2 points. As for the speaking test, I normally spend around 15 to 20 minutes to practice the IELTS question. But most of the time, I just practice on my own. How do I practice? I like to think to myself in English. I like to read lots of English text so it can expand my vocabulary, so that it can improve my pronunciation. I also enjoy listening to English conversation as well. In my opinion, listening to English conversation is crucial because you will learn how foreigners speak, you will learn how they pronounce certain words, you will learn their intonation and much more. Another experience of mine for the IELTS speaking test is to not be nervous during the test. You don't need to speak fast, just speak at a natural pace and be yourself. You don't need to worry about your accent too much. Last but not least, the writing test. Honestly speaking, for this test, I just did some research on the IELTS writing structure. I didn't overwrite, but that doesn't mean I didn't present full paragraphs and essay. I just tried to focus on the topic and my grammar. I also managed my time quite well. I didn't overspend my time thinking for ideas because the content you need to describe are usually on the paper. So just try to think smartly and write quickly. And one more thing, you don't forget to relax. As I mentioned earlier, I usually spend 2 to 3 hours of my day practicing for the IELTS test. But that doesn't mean I go on and study for 3 hours straight. No, of course not. In one study session, I usually spend about an hour, and then I will reward myself with a break by doing some stuff that I enjoy so that my brain can rest a little and that I have a clear mind for the next study session. And one more thing, I also enjoy spending some time to do a recap on what I need to work on next and what I have learned. In my opinion, if you keep studying endlessly without taking breaks, your brain is going to be exhausted. And so you will learn pretty much nothing. So try to do yourself a favor by taking some breaks doing stuff that you enjoy, relax, and take some time to do a recap on what you've learned. During the week before the test, my parents did nothing but cheering me up. They didn't put any pressure on me at all, which in my opinion is one of the best things any parent could do. Being pressured will only make the person nervous, which could badly affect the outcome. My parents only motivated me, they only provided me with what I need, which is time and space, which in my opinion is one of the main reasons why I score high during the IELTS test. Another reason is the school. BELTEI International School prepared an intensive IELTS preparation course to train students on all 4 subjects. Each trainer all had experience with the IELTS exam, so the treatment given to the students was done accurately and professionally. Each trainer also was very caring. They often check up on students, give them specific tips on how and where they can improve, and also were very comforting. They always motivate students to try and do well during the test. Furthermore, BELTEI International School also had rewards for students who score high during the IELTS test, to which is one of the main reasons why for me and for the other candidates to try and give their best effort during the test. Last but not least, the society. I'd like to thank Samdech Akek Mohasenapadaida Hun Sen, the Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Cambodia, that we get to live in a peaceful country. Due to his excellent guidance that we get to see our country develop more and more every day, and that we get to have a lot of opportunities to gain knowledge not only from within our country and also from abroad. Thank you, peace. In conclusion, these are all the main reasons why I score high during the IELTS test. Even though everyone's study methods are different, I believe that by following some of my tips and experiences, it will help you all during your upcoming exams. I hope everyone here nothing but success on their IELTS test, that you will get your desired score and be successful on your journey ahead. សូមអរគុណ សូមជម្រាបលា
BELTEI International University, the future of global leaders.